Hello Aquarius, welcome back to my channel The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I'm ready here with your first reading here in the year of 2024. Happy New Year if you were celebrating. So I've pre-shuffled your cards, Aquarius. I feel like I'm to a certain point continuing some of the process that I feel like may have kind of been building through some of the readings here. In the Sagittarius reading I had, Scorpio was about autonomy, like different groups have different autonomy. Sagittarius, it's like facing the exact opposite of yourself and finding that as a dilemma. Capricorn, following a specific fire, a specific new thoughts, a star that is maybe different or controversial. And now I sit with your energy here, Aquarius, that is, again, I get the feeling of being led by something, like allowing something to lead in this dilemma. Like, if you want to know more about the dilemma, please have a look at the Sagittarius reading also, right? Primarily, it talks very shortly. It talks about you could say peacekeepers versus power hunger. You know. Like peacekeepers or peaceful coexistence can never ever become a reality when you are around people that are power hungry, because they don't settle for equal and fairness and harmony. The harmony for them is if they have all the power and you have less, or someone else has less. That is harmony for them, right? And for this other group, we talk about equality, we talk about fairness, we talk about equal give and take. For them, harmony is that. So if you stand in front of something that is opposing you, it is a never-ending, ongoing value battle. So that's very short, right? If you want to know more about it, I said more in the Sagittarius reading. Right now in the third dimension, this is an equation that cannot be solved. Like with good and bad guys, there will always be a projection. It's like an equation that at this point in time, not quite solvable. And I get the feeling it's almost like you are listening for an advice from somewhere that may help you in some way. Just take it for what it is. It doesn't have to be what I said, that this is about power or something. Just think about this, that you stand in front of something that seems very stoic, or, you know, like it has certain views maybe that you are simply not engaging. You cannot engage in that, or it's too foreign or too strange, too it could be anything. I just mentioned the power thing, right? Power and peace. But you can, or war, competition and peace, right? Any kind of opposition, whatever it is, that is just so different, right? It's so different, and I can understand that if your core source is fueled by power, then you can never agree to peace, like that, because you starve then. Like, then you will starve over here. There's nothing fueling you if there's peace and equality. If the power fuels you and that is your existence, and that is your core, then you will be threatened by peace people. Peace people are not likable because they take your fuel away. If you are a peace person who is fueled by peace and harmony, fueled by people that share this builds you up. It serves you. It's good. It vitalizes you. When power people come in, you will starve. That's what I feel like. It's that simple. So, but simple doesn't make it easy, right? So in any way, you can put it into any context where you feel that something is starving you, or you are withering. You are not thriving. There are some conditions here that are not making you thrive, right? And there are other conditions where you could actually feel more energized, because there is more, there's something to fight for, something to get up for, something to conquer, or something to own or win or something. So it depends on what you are at your core. I've talked about the core a lot, actually. Recent readings, maybe going a month back, something like that. I would say I have touched more and more about the core of who you truly are. And I feel like also accepting whatever that is. Whatever it is. No matter how controversial it is, or whether it goes against, let's say, family values or something. If that's who you are, you cannot be fueled by the opposite. It will never satisfy you. Maybe there are more than these opposites. There probably are more, Opposites can be in many ways opposites. But the point is that you either live or you starve. You either thrive or starve, right? That's the point of it. I talked about environment also, how environment can make you wither. What kind of family did you grow up in? Did it match your core? If it didn't match your core, the upbringing you had, all the values you were given, school, education, maybe it didn't nurture or, fuel you. It just slowly sucked the life out of you. Do you get my point of that? So I still talk about, or have a feeling that environment is definitely important. Friend groups, interest, hobbies, what you are involved in is important for thriving, or the opposite. But we want to thrive, right? That's no matter what on you, whether you're on one or the other side, you want to thrive. At the moment, I guess, it's a generalization when I say that, but most of the world right now is construed and built around masculine principles. So if you are primarily masculine, you probably thrive more in this world. It's feeding the right. It's all the right things are available for someone who wants to win, who wants to conquer. The point is that even if you want to win and you want to conquer, not everybody can. So even if you are a competitive core, you want to win something, you want to conquer, you want to have power, you want to feel strength, you want to be on top, it's not everybody who does get to the top. So there are many of those who don't get that success. story, meaning that they are actually not thriving in a competitive world, even though it is built to feed it. Do you see my point? Like it's, and on the other hand, those who are about equality, peace, peaceful coexistence, druids, that kind of existence, they are very challenged here. Because a competitive environment will never ever be, it never feels right somehow. Do you see my point? Like that is kind of my starting point. And then I had, in the Capricorn reading, it felt like Capricorn had found a new wand. Like the old wands were, like the old inspirations, the old motivations, the old fire has kind of been put aside, and he had a new one that he was trying to pursue and or trust. I get a bit the same here. Like it's supposed to speak to you somehow. Or, like being a guide of some kind. Letting a guide lead you somewhere. Or, I don't know, trusting intuition. Maybe it's a person. I have Lemurian card in the middle. I'm not sure this is a person though. It feels more like you are, in tarot you are the star. Aquarius is associated with the star card, a major arcana. The star card is like this light. It's like this voice or this star, the northern star on the horizon or in the sky that sailors were navigating. They used the stars to navigate when they were in distressed waters, in turmoil, right? They kept their direction, they looked up, right? And because, in the water, you can become confused. If it's very turmoil, the boat can be swifted in many directions. It's difficult to navigate there. But the sky pretty much stayed the same, right? It doesn't stay the same, but like the changes that we can see from Earth happen so slowly. So in a lifespan, a human lifespan, it won't change much. It's not quite it's not quite that, but you get my point when I say the 3 wise men in the Bible, they were led by the star that appeared in the sky when Jesus was born. It's just like they knew, right? They knew that something special was happening. That's the story of the narrative. This is what I feel like. It's like something appears in your awareness. Maybe literally in the sky, I don't know. It feels more like an internal kind of guide, intuition, something that is telling you maybe to go somewhere, to seek something out. That there is some place for you that is right, or And it can be very different. Like for Capricorn, I said it could be controversial. Like maybe, I said maybe they felt urged to, sell all their belongings, travel to the other side of the world, becoming part of a Tibetan monastery. Something. I don't. Well, that's maybe a bit much. It doesn't have to be like that, but that's how controversial. Like it's controversial can be also that it challenges everything you've learned. It challenges everything you know about the world, everything you know about you. This can be like a metaphysical thing. This can be like you are led in some direction. This can be boredom for a very intelligent air sign, right? Boredom of the normal life and work. And there's something in you that just tells you, I should go somewhere else, right? I need something else. This is not all there is, or this is not this is not all. There's more, or I remember I asked myself that when I was in like my early 20s, and I had an established job and an income, an apartment, things like I was a young adult, right? And I remember taking the subway, right, to work. I lived a bit outside Copenhagen at that point, and I was working in the center of Copenhagen. So I took this subway in, and I looked at all those people sitting there, like tired in the morning. They were just waking up. They were preparing for work like I did. I was just mentally, preparing. People were, there were cell phones. I guess they were there, but it was not that normal. People were kind of, they just sat there by themselves in their own little worlds. And they walked down the same main street, again like robots or ants. I saw myself being a working ant, coming in with a certain train, walking down that street every morning, doing my stuff, walking back again, taking the train back, and doing the same thing again, like this repetitive pattern. And I was wondering, is this really it? Like, is this all there is for me, for everyone? Is this really life? Is this it's like there had to be more, right? I just couldn't see how there was more. In what way? Because nothing showed up in society or around me that told me that there should be more. Maybe I was already at that point actually looking for something more. Not quite knowing what it is, and every day captures us. We become captives or captured in the bubble, right? In the matrix bubble. It captures us. We become engaged in it. And it keeps asking us to be involved, right? Because there's always a new problem, a new product, new customers, new sales orders, new this or that. There's always something that keeps asking us to be spinning. But it's that kind of feeling like there must be more somehow. That's what I felt a little bit the same with Capricorn, like the old ways that I have done my life, my highs and lows, the dopamine rush or whatever this is, I'm kind of fed up with this. There must be something else. And he had another wand. Maybe he didn't know exactly where, he just knew there had to be another one. And I get that here as well. Here it's like, it's almost like, I said a little bit like it in the Capricorn, I said it's like an antenna, the star. And the star card did actually show itself when I was pre-shuffling for Capricorn. The star card, which is Aquarius energy. This is new. Aquarius is known for new. All major technological breakthroughs, they are usually involves an Aquarian or during an Aquarian time or transit or something. Same with the internet. This was also like a breakthrough, a technological breakthrough with Aquarian inside. Astrologers have seen that. They have seen this connection. So it's like something here wants to guide you. But with Aquarius, I've said this before, that sometimes Aquarius can be, you could say, late bloomers, in the sense that they have to tune into something which is not here yet. Any pioneer work, any new like big discoveries that really changes the world for humankind, we can say it can be both good and bad, right? But every time something comes in that revolutionizes something, it comes from somewhere, right? Someone figured something out or had a plan or an idea. Or maybe they were guided here. That I get it's like opening a door or picking up the phone and listening to something. But not something that is here, something that is somewhere else. Like, opening an antenna up, being able to grasp something that is big. And if anyone can do this, it's you, Aquarius, right? Your mind is per se expansive. Like it hates limitation, so to speak. Like that's actually one of the things where I believe your fixed element is showing itself. If people limit you or limit your way of thinking in some way, this is where you can become quite reactive. Like, don't take my brain from me, right? Don't challenge that. That is one of my core features. Don't kill my air, right? Never kill my air. Or never attempt to, right? Maybe that's one of the environments that you never thrive in. Like, as I just said, if someone is trying to air you out, starve you from air expansion, intelligence expansion. If something is doing that, it would literally kill you, I think. Like you would become you would not thrive, right? That is an abusive state for an Aquarius child, for instance. Don't take knowledge or the ability to learn or expand from an Aquarius. Like Aquarius has to expand the intellect. It needs stimulation. It needs variety. Yeah, and I have this feeling of like listening to like a core antenna in you. Like something, this is you, right? This is a... And even if it's not here yet, even if it's not done, even if it just to other people look like some crazy fantasy, even if it doesn't really have a form yet, even if it's an attempt to solve the equation, as I just mentioned, even if this is a step for humanity towards the fifth dimension, because the fifth dimension is more loving than the third dimension is. So how do we come from third dimension to fifth dimension? I believe that, as I just said, the third dimension may favor some. Those it may favor, they don't want to give it up. It is going to threaten them, right? Those who are not thriving, they will probably feel a relief from the fifth dimension. When the fifth dimension comes in, it's a relief. But over here, someone else is now starving. So this shift, it's going to challenge those who are already in power. And those who are not in power may feel a bit more empowered. Does that make sense? How do we do this in a way that is... Does it make sense, like on a big scale? One thing is your own private life. Another thing is like a big scale humanity thing. How is this going to play out? Like I've said before that I felt, this was years back, I felt like a storm is coming, right? There's something is coming that is, and I believe it's actually love. Love is coming, but we are not used to love, like not that kind of love. And we are not used to what it expects of us, like what it requires in us to align with that energy. And those who are power hungry, they will not know what to do with this energy. It's going to starve them. Or it could feel like that, right? It's like a... And I have this feeling like a... Because there are arguments on each side. Like those who thrive now, of course they will feel that this is very bad, that this new wave that comes in is very bad. Those who do not thrive, they may feel a relief, a sense of relief. So how is a shift like this made, you know? With love. You know, sometimes we say that the people we love the most are those we also, what is that called? We push them sometimes. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just know that is it just an element of the world we live in that we somehow have to push? That we cannot all be our wild selves. We have to become civilized as a human species, overlooking primal needs or reactions, stress ourselves out, push ourselves to limits that are actually not at all in alignment with like our inner intuition or instincts. Is that just what the world requires, or is it a learning curve for humanity? Well, you can push in. Just tell me what you think, right? If you want to comment on this. So that's kind of the scenario. That is okay. Let's have a look. Furred and feathered friends. This was also in, was it Sagittarius? I think Sagittarius reading. And in Sagittarius reading, it was something like, friends are found in many places, or there are friends in many places. And this is a variety, right? Where we have an avatar, humanoid avatar. We have different kinds of friends here that are a variety of friends. For some reason, it comes across today a bit like, I wouldn't say outcast, but loners maybe. Loners. You know, people that, like in the lion family, this lion chooses to live alone because it's like he doesn't fit in with his lion family. You know? And that is the same thing with all of them. Like the snail here, down here, doesn't fit with other snails, or you know, that would be the consciousness. Like this could, well, maybe this talks about other loners, or well, outcasts or scapegoats. But well, I believe the scapegoat mentality has quite a lot of victimhood around it. I don't get that from this card though. It feels more like loners by choice, like they choose to or you know, like if I say that, I said something like, there are friends in many places. So this can be maybe in other realms that are different than you. They may, like if you can see them, if you have clairvoyance, or you have that there's something else that could be guiding you, you know. Now I get the feeling like it's like whatever guiding light you may have could lead you to others who are like you, I think. Like they are friends here, other kind, but they are so different, you know, like they may be different from you. Maybe you like animals more than humans, right? Or you just, it's like shared values or something, like it's like these, they sit quietly beside each other here. There's no war, they seem quite relaxed. There's no roaring. We have like the lion and a rabbit, we have a fox, we have a snake, we have a fish, an eagle, and a hummingbird, a snail. It seems pretty I get almost also when you look at this image, I don't know if you can see it, but it seems a little bit like something is breaking through the sky or the clouds here. So this could be a feeling of like a breakthrough or a clarity. A clarity about like who are your friends, or again, I get this feeling of like a direction, like being guided to a place maybe, or maybe a sound, maybe a narrative, you know, like a narrative that a narrative is guiding you, and I think it's in your core. Like the core narrative or tune or whatever you want to call it, when you can feel it, it's or hear it or know it, when you know it, you will understand why you may have been miserable in certain places, or why you have felt so challenged in some way, or why you haven't heard your calling, or why you had no compass, or whatever or whatever. In my case, I belong to this side of peaceful coexistence. I've never really known my compass. But it makes sense because the world I've grown up in doesn't allow for peaceful coexistence. Not really. It allows for certain energies are favored. And becoming one of those took me away from what is actually my core. That a masculine energy is more favored than the feminine. And in my core, my reality, they are equal. Like there is the same glory and honor on the feminine as the masculine. It's the same. It's equal. It's cooperation. There is a sense of seeing each other's value, appreciating each other's value. So of course I did not have my compass. I couldn't find a mission, because in the world I grew up in, it wasn't allowed. Like it doesn't exist there. So I had no way of finding it. My compass is harmony and balance between maybe the sexes or genders or powers. But I grew up in a world with like power dynamics, constant competition, constant challenge. That's how the world works. The world we know. Well, of course there can be spots on Earth where it may not be like that. And maybe that's where I'm supposed to go. I don't know where you're supposed to go here. But you know, there is this sense of a being guided towards something here. And they are all, there's only one of them, right? So it's like they are, even though they are different species here on Earth, they may carry the same value, core value, you know, like the breakthrough could be, or the guiding light is to find someone who may think like you, act like you. Again, maybe these together fuel each other. Like being around these people give you stability. Maybe it gives you strength. Maybe it gives you I don't know, even peace. Or if you are on the other side, you like the competition, these people here would be those that do this. They do the same as you. They're like you in some way. But they may look, you know, like it could be a horse, it could be, but they're like you. You know? Maybe that's what you like feel maybe that's the voice here, or the guidance to find a family or friends here that get you, like they understand and get you, and in their company you thrive here. Whatever it may be, I don't know what it is, right? But whatever it may be, that you find some kind of maybe relief or peace, or I don't know, a different dynamic than what you're used to. And it can be with people that look different than you. Maybe they have a different cultural background, maybe a different religious background, maybe a different skin tone. Maybe they are like different sexual orientation, different work, but at the core you share something. Does that make sense? Something like that's what I get. Something like that. Did I say? I can't remember, but I think I said there's something about Sagittarius. In the Capricorn reading, I remember I said I almost said Sagittarius. There's something about Sagittarius energy here. This dilemma, this equation, this yin-yang or twin flame or whatever you want to call it, this opposition dilemma thing. This can even talk about like, how do we bring like species together that in peace and harmony here, when they are so opposite. Like this is a lion that could easily see the little rabbit here as a prey. Like how can we unite people somehow, right? Or unite species. Again, that there's something about like humans may see themselves as the most powerful species on Earth, as opposed to animals here, right? Their brain is different than humans. So per se, we could say that humans, because of their intellect, consider themselves as more. They are not just an animal with animalistic instincts, they are more than that. But how are we using that more? Like this extra intellect, how are we using it? Like maybe at some point right now we are oppressing other species. We're taking charge of them. We kill them, we eat them, we put them in a zoo. We control it. We control, you could say, we have like, if we look at it, if every life here has its own unique value, and I take a pig, or I take 20 pigs and put them in a space, and I control them there. I decide, I may feed them, but I also decide when to slaughter them. I make sure they have small piglets so that they become big, and then I have something more to slaughter, something more to eat, something more. We have industrialized our food, right? And in what way is that? So we are superior, right? We have put ourselves in a superior mode. There are animals that are bigger than us, like form-wise, bigger elephants. But we can still control elephants. Like we are the dominant power species. This can talk about maybe the breakthrough or the voice you have is something where you realize that you find yourself feeling equal to the species. Like the idea that animals should be under control or controlled or kept down. We know that some species are almost extinct. The environment humanity creates on Earth is not bearable. It starves them, right? It starves them out. They have no habitat. So it means that we have taken control. Yes, I know that there are areas in the world where people live in more balanced relationship with nature. But there are definitely also very big areas on Earth where this is not the case. Humans have polluted the oceans and in that way weakened everything that lives there. making them sick or at least changing them in some way. Certain species are not there anymore. Certain fish are not there. Algae take over, right? Something like that. This could be what you think about, that maybe something is coming to mind where we are supposed to be united and seen as like one big family. Everything on earth is supposed to be one big family here. If this is your core, Aquarius, there's a lot to be done, right? There's a lot to be done. And again, as I said, everybody who has power, who is supposed to give some of it up willingly for some, and something else will have a little benefit of that. It's not done. It will not be done peacefully. In this context, it may mean that humans may need to leave a lifestyle behind in order to have more balance in nature and with all species. This seems a little bit more like living in harmony with everything. Loving everything, living in harmony with everything, respecting everything, every other species. This can be your core, perhaps. That this is what you would like. This is the world you would like to see. But it's maybe not the world that is currently around you. And you have to make steps to find this. Or maybe to create it, build something that is establishing, you could say, your contribution to this ideal. You will know whether this clings right for you. If it doesn't cling right, then just, I've said it in some of the other readings, if it doesn't sound right, just don't wear it. Like, just don't take it, right? You will know if it feels right. This can also talk about, like wanting to gather something, gather a family, gather people that like the same things as you or have the same values, and with them build, you could say, your own paradise or your own version of how you see the world, how you would like the world. Astrologers talk about that the age of Aquarius is approaching, that it has begun, but well, the ages that they talk about is more than 2,000 years. So we are just on the brink of just smelling the coffee of something here. Just a tiny little thing that is supposed to be in progress over the next 2,100 and something years. We have just barely left the Pisces age and is now smelling a bit of the Aquarian energy here. Aquarius energy is humble. Not to say that it doesn't like nice things, but most Aquarians I know, like they don't really care much about fashion or they don't use a lot of money. They are pretty sometimes introvert. They stay inside. They are There can be certain outdoor things, but they are rather specific. They are, again, particular about their friend choice. They have very special ideas, very expansive ways of thinking. We have scientists here, astronomers, we have like advanced math people here, any kind of scientist, anthropology, well, and it's said that Aquarius, representing the 11th house, which talks about groups, can be about humanity, like thinking bigger than just yourself. This is supposed to be something that can help like a big variety of maybe species or people on different levels or different levels, but social income levels maybe, or a variety of people could benefit from something here, right? That is very Aquarian. Aquarius can identify patterns in society and are maybe taking a look at how to heal maybe, or help in some way. In your Aquarian way, the way you can do something. It's not the same as how let's say a Taurus would do it, right? It's not the same as how a Sagittarius would approach it. You have your unique style and way of figuring something out, building something new. Your explanation is different, or your analysis is different. I want to have the bottom of the deck for this as well here. So I have life force energy down here. This is a driver card. Very, very beautiful, very colorful card. Life force energy is feeling alive, right? Vibrant, healthy, alive. Again, I have this feeling like tapping into something. And because of that, you feel this. This is like the driver. Your life force energy, your core, the truest version of you fuels you. The recognition of what you are at your core fuels you. It directs you also. As I said, I felt I had no compass in the world. Like I found it was very difficult. The values here are not compliant with my core values. So I found it difficult to navigate. It was not, it felt wrong somehow for me. Or the other way around. The world, I was told the world was right and I somehow was the misfit. right? In my world, it's the other way around. Like, I'm not a misfit necessarily. This world is just not compliant with my core value. But getting to know what this is vital. This is like an autonomy thing also, that this is who you are, accepting whatever it is fully, knowing that this is your standing point, and you are now examining the world from that place, right? And when you find the source of whatever this is, diving into it, perhaps it will be a driver forward for more life force, maybe more happiness, maybe more vitality moving forward here. Yeah, maybe more vitality moving forward. More excitement maybe. More inspiration. That's what I felt like in the Capricorn. It's like they had this other wand that they were holding on to that was different than something older. And they are now moving forward with that one. That's kind of what I feel like here as well. Like this is, look at how vibrant this is, like how extremely beautiful and colorful this is. We have all the chakra colors here that are activated or, in play, or you have access to all of them. And this is somehow bringing you towards something else here. Maybe, well, yes, friends, there are friends in many places. Maybe your friends are in different realms. Maybe your friends are I don't know, we have dolphins here, right? Maybe your friends are sea creatures. Maybe they are invisible. I don't know. It's just this. Maybe your friends are pets. Or maybe this just suggests that your friends are peaceful. Like they are not hunting each other or quarreling or roaring, or they are at peace, they are fine, they are okay. They are healthy, they are vibrant, they are, they feel fine. They are safe in their skin, even if they are surrounded by other kinds of species here that are so different. There is an acceptance of each other here, even though they are very different. This feels almost like a council, right? Or a club, where so many different species of different sizes, all the way down to the snail here and a little snake, right? But all of them have a vote. All of them are peaceful somehow. All of them are okay. All of them feel seen, heard, value. All of them are somehow prioritized. They are all important. They are all equally valued. They are all equally. There is a sense of harmony and cooperation here. But again, cooperation, I believe, is a choice. Like either it makes sense to you. It makes sense, your values, it gives meaning to your life. It's worth it. It's what you live for. It's your passion. Or it doesn't give meaning. It starves you in some way. But I think this This is very beautiful. This is very, very, very vibrant. Like this feels extremely alive. I said in the Capricorn reading something about there's a choice, like a choice to be or not to be. If you choose to be, you choose to be alive in the way you are alive. If you choose not to be, you choose death. It means you are maybe hanging on, but you're not living. You're definitely not thriving. You are under pressure. Almost so much pressure that you are defeated. And I think this has to do with the systems that we are in. Maybe we can call it regimes, dogmas, the teachings, the society, the values, the moral, the traditions. It's about finding the right one, I think, right? Because there are many here on earth, many religions, many different kinds of countries, many sets of work status. We know that Japan, like they work a lot, many, many hours, right? There are Buddhist temples somewhere. You could join that one, right? It's about community, the right community, I think. The right community is that little place of paradise for each and every one of us. It's just about finding the right one. So I have the Rainmaker here in the left position, which can talk about the past. Well, the Rainmaker is this is regarded as, one of the shamans or something that could do a special dance. And because of that dance, it started raining in a very hot, dry season where rain was needed, right? So a Rainmaker is a powerful being that can influence the elements of sky and earth, water, right? A Rainmaker is not normal, right? This is not like the other ones of the tribe. It's like a bit like a magician, right? They have certain ways, things they can do that can change something or influence something, harvest, call in, summon. Here, summon, a summoner. The Rainmaker can be a summoner of rain. A summoner. Again here, summon for a meeting, a council, a summoner. Are you a summoner, Aquarius? In some way, can you summon, can you call out to the universe and summon energies that can somehow help or inspire, draw up an idea in your brain? Are you a summoner in some way? Because how do they do this, right? How do they, like a hot, dried out summer, how do they bring forth, is it coincidence? Would the rain have been coming anyway, or do they have the power to summon something? Summoner. It's like this on the left, it can suggest that you have tried to summon something. You have been in a manifestation mode. Try to summon something here. Call something to you. Let's see the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, you see vision quest here. Vision quest is this idea you may have, or the thought you have. The vision quest can be more or less visual, in the sense that this can be a vision board. You have drawn up something on paper or made a collage. You know, maybe this is just something in your mind. You have a dream here, a fantasy, a dream. And it's a big one, right? It fills up a lot of your life here, perhaps. And from the vision quest here, you became, like from the idea, you had to take action, starting to manifest this maybe a new life, a new way of living, a different. Again, we know that when the water comes in a very dry season, it's a relief, right? It's a relief for humanity. It's a relief for plants. It's a relief for animals who may have a struggle finding drinking water. We know that when the rain comes, without rain on the planet, without water, we cannot exist. Or we could say without fresh water, or not salt water, salty water, but without fresh water, many species on land cannot exist. So when the water comes in, it can have a relief in very dry seasons. But a rainmaker is making, it usually requires a dance or a ritual here. And that ritual can be a bit strange to others if they haven't seen it before. I feel like this could be a sense of like an energy worker, right? That is summoning something, calling something, influencing the elements in some way. By a ritual, or a dance, or a movement, or a sound. We know that vibration, sound vibration, can influence us. Like if there is a lot of X-ray sound waves in an area, people can become more sick. But if we choose a specific sound wave, it can bring health to people. We also know that. So what it is you are summoning here, yeah, I get like the feeling of calling something in, calling for something or changing some kind of dynamics. Like in order for something to change, you have to do something. So you have a vision about something here. And in order for this to happen, you also have to do something about it. Maybe you're changing your dance, the way you move, act, speak, behave in the world. Maybe you look like a rainmaker to others. Like maybe you're behaving differently. You have different values. You do differently. You are we know about Aquarius that they can seem to many people different. That they have like and being quite fixed in their ways, that they don't necessarily change. So what is happening here is actually pretty strange actually for an Aquarius. Aquarius usually is quite fixed in their ways. They don't necessarily just change their behavior. Or we talk about that this is you all along. You've always been like this. This is what you do. When you find yourself on a quest here to figure something out, you will do something about it. Maybe you are studying intensely here to make a change, because that's what the rainmaker does. It makes a fuss, right? It may talk about something. It may reveal something. It may speak something. It may speak a truth for which there is no proof. You just know, right? You just know that this is what needs to be done. But maybe you have no proof. You just know. So I get the Hierophant here. The Hierophant is like a teacher, a priest, a teacher. Let's get a bottom of the deck for this one also. So I get a 4 of Cups. It's so interesting. Look at this card. The 4 of Cups is usually a card of reminiscing, sitting under the tree, feeling a bit low, not knowing whether you should trust that there's still something in those cups here. It could be the feeling that you're not quite sure whether people actually love you. You may love people here, right? But you may not know if they love you back. Normally he sits here and he's very occupied with the 3 cups here. He's not even paying attention to the one that is offered here from the divine, right? But in this card, he looks at it. In this card, he actually sees it. He actually sees that something is offered here. A big one. It's bigger than the others. It shines, it's golden. And it's offered from the divine. He actually looks at it. And what is given, it's almost like a key, because it opens up something here. The Hierophant is a major arcana. The Hierophant is very wise. He is considered like definitely a priest, but I would go further. This is a cardinal. This is more. It look at how he shines here. The golden robe. It's like being honored for something. Or again, he can be a priest, a teacher. He can preach something, teach something. So you see, there is such a difference between this one and the Rainmaker. I think the Rainmaker is per se the same. But when you are a Rainmaker, you didn't have this golden cup from the universe. You didn't have this key. The key unlocks the Hierophant. There is a special knowledge here that you gain access to, something you know. that may help this vision quest, right? The rainmaker usually, can be a bit of an unorthodox way of behaving or doing. The rainmaker is a shaman or a medicine man. This comes across as unscientific. You know, it cannot be proved. It's a unscholared kind of energy. It's superstitious maybe. Where the Hierophant is established in the world, he's considered a resource to reckon with. I feel like I could even say he could be a scientist here. Like a Hierophant as opposed to a high priest. This one can look more like a high priestess. The Hierophant is established. He is trusted in the world. He is considered as a resource. A priest in society has a role to fill. They are considered important. They are considered the gateway to religion, or like religious teachers and keepers. They are trusted. They are valued. They are considered you could say holders of family also. Holders of, they keep something together, right? They are a key that keeps, you could say, the very earthbound stuff together with higher ways of thinking. Civilization. God, the God voice in society, the 10 Commandments, or any other kinds of guidances. It's a guide. This one connects the normal earthy working life, family life, with a higher realm. As it here, it's like a voice or a key or an antenna. You know, when you get this, you get a key to the heavens, or you get a key to knowledge here. Some kind of knowledge which is not present here. This is more unorthodox. It's maybe hidden. It's a ritual done in the woods at night. You know, even though it has a lot of potential maybe, like this is way easier, quicker. So the furred and feathered friends here, I said there are friends in many places, and I said there was this feeling of like a voice, an antenna, something that is guiding you, right? It feels again a bit like what is present here on earth is for you, Aquarius. I don't think it's enough. As I said, it's like I had this feeling being this worker ant when I was in my early 20s, right? I could just observe the world around me, seeing how we were all shaped and formed and designed to join this, like to be this. It's like we were just small programmed ants. And like the ants, we know that the ants, they do the things they do because of the queen, right? The queen dictates what's going on. And every other working ant feeds into that narrative somehow, or this smell or odor, or it's like it's a, it's a special voice that guides everything. And in society we have a voice also, or maybe voices. There are different narratives, but that there are things that are considered, they are favored. Some voices or some narratives are favored. And if we can just belong to that group, we will be, inside. We are inside a favored way of thinking. If we can align with that and be okay with that, then we just become like the worker ants that we just follow a script, you could say. We follow the given script of something. This one also has a script. But now it may be a script that is somehow recognized. Or you have come from maybe just thinking about something to actually becoming a teacher of something here. Trusting what you know, because you did hear the call. You did open up your antenna. You decided to look up. I said before something about the sailors, that the sailors, they look up to the sky to follow the stars. You decided to look up here. Look up. Isn't there a movie called Don't Look Up? Some kind of cartoon-ish. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But it says something like don't look up. Maybe you should look up. Look up. When I say look up, I feel like expand, like let yourself think the most crazy thoughts. Right? Let yourself be absolutely open to whatever comes. I even want to say expand your mind, expand your... Again, this is a bigger cup. For now there are these cups here on earth. This is what you have been engaging with. But maybe it didn't feel right. Again, there is a reminiscing, a sense of wanting to keep something standing, but if you're the only one investing, if you're the only one investing in these cups, friends or something, and the others don't, then maybe this is not the right one for you. There is more, right? There is something that is more and more golden or more right to you. I said something in the beginning like if you are one of these two elements, as I said, if one is a taker, you could also say, and you are a giver, you can give and give and give, and you hope for something to give back here, like you have invested in something here, and you hope that it will give something back to you, recognize you. Again, the reminiscing means that you miss them. You miss a sense of maybe recognition or equal give and take, something given back to you. And now you realize, oh, but maybe it's because these cups, these people, these relationships, they are not like me, right? They are not like, they don't have the same preference. They feel small, again, withered, or it doesn't fuel you. There is another way, a more golden way of being fueled here. Another kind of love. This can be a religious thing. Maybe you open your eyes to religion, or you let yourself be guided by something that is not you, your own ego, or what society dictates. That you say, I would like to trust in some kind of guidance. I would like to trust the Hierophant can also suggest that you find religion, that what is happening here is that the divine or something from another realm offers you more warmth, more care, more understanding, more, right? It offers you more here. It's way bigger, way more golden. And if you decide to trust this, that could be what this is. It leads you to, I hear solace. It leads you to I get also home. It's like coming home. Like if I allow myself to trust in this feels way better for me. Like this feels, again, look at how shiny he is, right? It's like a glorification somehow. That what is here is glorified. Like maybe this is someone talking to you here, like I said, like a voice and a tenor. This can be like a guide, or it just feels so right somehow, or it just feels trustworthy. It's there are different values in this cup than in these three here. The values here seem more right. You're also looking at it. And it takes you away from the reminiscing. The reminiscing is a rather sad state to be in. Maybe a bit of a bit of a depressive state. We miss something, we long for something more familiar or more friendly maybe, or we long for something to be more reciprocated, more invested, more like this. The cups are too small here somehow. They can't hold as much as this one. And you are drawn to this one now more than these, because it offers something more. It offers something that is bigger, brighter, a bigger promise of love, a bigger promise of acceptance, a bigger promise of this can be faith, right? That you listen to something. I said that there are friends in many places. Like this can be a friend somewhere else, right? That is offering you, again, this sense of community. Like if you follow my lead here, if you allow yourself to follow my lead, I will guide you to the friends in many places. I will show you that you belong, right? I will show you that you have friends that are just like you. They may look different. They may, have different backgrounds. They may be animals. I don't know. But there is a lot of love here for you. There's a lot of more. There's more. If you trust me, right? If you trust me and you trust this offer or this road or this path I put in front of you, you will find more than this. Even though there are 3 cups here, even if you combine them, you wouldn't have this. This is more. It's way more. This could even suggest, like it's a more unconditional. What we know on earth is mostly conditional. So if you act and you are in a certain way, we love you. But if you go outside of that box, we don't love you. We think you're strange, right? We look at you like this. Now you become too unorthodox. Now you're strange. But when you are inside the box, we like you. We love you there. You do all the right things. You do what is to be expected. You follow the stream. You don't make a fuss. You're not reacting out. You're not rigid. You're not doing something out of the ordinary. Then we love you. You behave in some way, and then we love you. This seems like a bigger cup, right? Like a cup that loves every bit of you, that loves everything about you. That is it never second guesses you, it never challenges you and because of that, because of this friend, because of this message, because of this tune or feeling, you can grow into this, or you will have a contact to something that is very, very wise, I want to say. Again, this could be a guide. A guide. Can I have another card on this Hierophant, please? Like he could be here with knowledge, information somehow. You see, call. I get the call here. A call. Maybe you literally will have a call from someone here. Or there is a call to connect. You hear the call here. You hear the call. Like you look at it. You pick up the phone and you trust this call. You decide to trust it. And it's a call with a Hierophant here. Someone who, look at this one, it's a divine angel here. It's like the call of like a divine call. It could be like an awakening, the call of the divine, the judgment call. Sometimes in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the judgment card is a card where we see Michael, the Archangel Michael, playing like we see this one. There's an instrument here, a flute of some kind, that goes all the way up here. I hope you can see it. And it's like an awakening call. It's like you hear something or you feel something that just changes everything. It's like when you have looked at this cup, you can't go back, right? There could be utter bliss here with this cup, which you don't find here, right? The bliss state is so amazing because it loves everything about you. It cuddles you in love. And when you have felt the bliss state, you want to have more of it. Because the world here where we are doesn't offer this. Not on a continuous basis. In reality, we are like small little children that would like to be cuddled in bliss all the time. But that's not how it works, right? It's not how it is. This is like hearing the call of the divine here. The Hierophant, I get more like, I said he can be a priest. Of course he can be a priest. Like you could have a call from a priest here. But this feels like more. It feels, I get cardinal, pope-like. And for some reason, because we know that, there's only one pope in the world, and he probably doesn't come and knock on your door, right? He probably won't call you either. But there's this sense also, because it's like, I feel like it. He looks to me like he's floating, right? Like he floats in front of a window here. I said something about the 3 wise men. He looks a bit like that one, or one of them to me here. The 3 wise men. Maybe you become one, like now you become one of the 3 wise men. You know, you decide to follow the call. Like I said this with the 3 wise men because they were not together. The 3 wise men came from different cities, but they saw this light in the sky, right? They saw the star in the sky, and you are the star, Aquarius. They saw the star in the sky. And they start walking, right? They start traveling towards that star, trusting their gut feeling that this was special. They had to go there. They had to trust their gut feeling, everything they knew about, any kind of prophecies or whatever they have read. They were the wise men, right? Yeah, that's what I feel like. It could be the feeling that you are offered a hand by a wise man here. A guide or something. That you take the call, you listen, you decide to trust it. Open your mind to it. Say, okay, yeah, I'm listening. What are you telling me? Then you sit. You may have conversations here with this one. I feel like it's like a wise man, like a wise guide or something. And from being like this, not knowing exactly where to go, you may find yourself becoming this one, right? Because you take the call, because you trust it, because you let yourself be guided by like a different values maybe. Like this offers something here that is way more than what you normally know. You know, people say we want peace on earth. People say we want more love on earth, right? That could be the vision quest here. That we would like that. We would like more peace here. We would like more of that. But how to actually do this, or even have it in your own life, more stability, maybe safety also. Peace and safety, like you can't really have peace if there's no safety. So what is this cup about here? This special, it's like a key or a promise, faith, maybe proof. Maybe there's a proof in the cup. Again, it's an offer. It's always just an offer. You have to accept it when it comes from the divine. So interesting, I get the Four of Raphael here, which is pretty much the same as the Four of Cups here. 4 and 4, right? It says, seek out other possibilities, look for the magic in life, be aware of your own emotions. So she sits here with her shells, well, she likes them, but she's alone. She may not know what to do with them, actually. Maybe at some point something was actually living inside the shells, but nothing is there now, right? So they feel a bit hollow or empty. It's not the same. And then you see there's something coming in here with, and what is that exactly? Yeah, it actually, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I see it as a shell, but it's shining. It's shining. It's a shining shell. So again, I get this feeling of life, like the vibrancy of this card here is in this cup. The vibrancy of this little shiny shell here. It's like there's life force in it. There's life in it. Not starvation, not hollowness. Something that is vibrant and living and yeah, it's like, it feels like restoring life somehow. Restoring. Again, it's like she holds on to these shells here because there is no other choice. She has nothing else. But if he offers you a vibrant shell here, she would probably discard those. They will no longer be of interest, because this is actually not supporting her. It's not giving her any life force, vibrancy. She is playing with an illusion, a dream perhaps. But as I said, it's like if people don't invest the same as you invest, you can be reminiscing here. You could be reminiscing, hoping that something will come back, that it will wake up, that it will show itself again, that it will come to life again, that it will come back, things like that. But it isn't. It isn't coming back. And it's like you're given a way out, you're given another proposal if you look up. Like from your normal life, I just have this feeling, look up. Or that something is maybe with a call, a conversation, a tune. Again, look at how this is. I really feel it. It's how she stands here in front of like a window or something here, and he stands in front of like a kind of window. It feels a little bit like a portal. Like if you hear the call here, if you listen, again, if she turns around here, she can see him. And what he is holding here is like a key or an understanding, maybe a message, that when you get that message, you have the access to walk through a portal of some kind, change. You become from sitting here. Again, I have a feeling of it. She is just a girl and he is perhaps a boy here. But somehow I get a feeling of like aging, like a major maturing here. He has a grey beard here. Not to say that you will maybe, age physically, but you will be wise. It's like a download I get. Like a download, a piece, a puzzle piece, a key of life force here. These are the center cards, so they are important. They are actually the most important cards. That when you figure this out, when this life force, when you figure out what that is for you, what that fuel is for you, I just get the feeling you will be unstoppable. It will give you an opportunity to go or visit realms here with friends in many places. Let's get a card on this furred and feathered friends here. So I get, if I can say this, under Anandamayi Ma, Anandimayi Ma, the joy permeated mother. And then it says, I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. So this is a self-sufficiency in some way. And I think it's because you have access to something here. Being your own guru can make you relax in no matter what company you're in. Again, I get autonomy, like maybe that's what this is about, like your own autonomy bubble, or your own autonomy core. That this is whole in some way. I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. I said before also something about that it's like your core, it is what it is. And we can either run from it, or sometimes we are even like persuaded, or we are forced to maybe live a life that is inauthentic. So I get authenticity also with this. Autonomous inauthenticity. And because you choose a life more in accordance with that, the joy is here. That there will be another joy. And for some reason, I feel like still like a wise man. The wise man. The wise man can be about a specific, maybe scientific area, or a specific download that you get here, that if you go towards this, that is going to be the joy permeated you, you will be that guru, and it will give you such joy, right? You are led. Being your own guru means that you're led by yourself, that you have a leader in you that leads you somewhere. You have a compass that goes somewhere. You not only have a compass, you also have this star. And I felt this star feeling like it. I know the self that never changes. So it's like your soul, right? Your soul essence is the same. It never changes, no matter what vibration or realm it's in. You will be yourself. You will be you here, if this is you. You will be this no matter what you are surrounded by. This also means that you have stamina, right? That even if you are around other energies that are not like you, that are maybe, like challenging you, or somehow want to steal your energy, or want to take over, or that you can stay. You're like an island, right? You're your own island. You don't get invaded, or you don't get overthrown or something. That's what I feel like. A rather almost stubborn core, right? That you are your own guru. It means that you are maybe the religions or the faith in this world cannot lead you, right? It's not enough. Like there's more, or you find limitations with it, that you can't shake, or you can't. I find that with the idea of the Christian church, for instance. I love Jesus' energy, the God and love idea, the God and love and Jesus idea. I love that. But there are many things in the Bible that I cannot, it's not right for me. I can read the Bible, but there will be things in it that I cannot. For me, Jesus and God is an energy. It's not words. Words makes Jesus and God less for me. It changes them into something, I want to say, it limits them for me. But that's just me, right? But that's what I feel like, a bit like that maybe what you are truly searching for or looking for isn't here. It only is in you. So you have to trust that, even though it goes against, as I say, the rainmaker can be others who are not rainmakers. They don't get it. Like, they don't understand what you're doing and why you do things the way you do, why you behave and say and talk like you do. They don't get it. Another rainmaker would maybe get it, right? But and this is, again, we can't really see the face. It's a bit blurred and dark. But she actually has wings. I don't know if you've seen that, but there are actually wings out here. But when you look at her, I don't know if you can see it, but I think she looks a bit angry here. A bit angry or persistent. Or frustrated maybe about the life that she has. So if this somehow makes sense to you, I think you should always follow that voice. Right? You should, no matter what other people say, you should stick to it, right? You should stick to this. And even if, you go to school and your teacher is teaching you math, and they will at some point tell you that whatever you have figured out, maybe it's not possible, or this cannot be solved, or this is as I said, like an equation that cannot be solved. It's not doable, or what you have figured out is false. And I would say it probably is false to the knowledge that is available at this current moment in time, in history. But as we know with math and physics, we know that over time it develops. Suddenly there is a new understanding about something. Suddenly something new is becoming the trend, and it revolutionizes something that we have thought before wasn't possible to change or to do anything about, or to the idea of quantum mechanics, well, it becomes maybe more and more known, but when I was a child, nobody knew about this. Nobody knew that there is a question now that says, is time even linear? Can we understand our existence if we don't have linear time? What if there is no linear time? What if everything is happening at the same time? Is that even possible? And therefore we cannot be defined by the past, because the past is here right now with us. We can just make our mind up. We can just change our mind. If I change my mind now, I would also, within the quantum mechanics theory, I would also have changed my past. If my mind is like this, my past would be different. And my future will be different if we talk about linear time. Do you understand? Like, if I shift in my awareness, if I change my awareness about something, my past has to be different. Otherwise, I cannot be me here. If we look at linear time, right? Does that make sense? Like, if I am currently this and only this, that this is my faith, this is what I believe in, this is my core, this is who I am, then subsequently the past has to be something that supports this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be this. And the future would also support this. It comes from this place. But that's not how we normally are taught about life. We are born, we eventually will die, and there's a lifespan from 0 to whatever age. It's always continuously forwards moving, even though people may live in the past, we say. But you know, it's what if I somehow am able to change something about my current life? Is it subsequently changing something about how I remember my past? Is it subsequently changing something about how I see my possibilities in the future? Yes, it is going to be like that. If you come from not having autonomy or not being your own guru here, you know, you have listened to other people, we do that. But one of the things about the late bloomers, what I call Aquarius sometimes, is this. It's because we have listened to others. And they can never ever take us where you're supposed to be. How should they know? Like, you are supposed to be your own guru here. And one of the ways to be that guru is look up. Look up here. What is this? It may be easier said than done. It's probably not just looking up at the sky, right? But there will be something eventually showing itself for you. As long as you look down to what's already present here, you won't find it, because it's not here at the moment. If we sit in longing and reminiscing here, that is the past, right? That something has happened here in the past that is leading you to sitting like this. If you decide to change your way, if you decide, I'm going to follow something else. Whatever I have experienced up till now just makes me sit here. I don't want that. So I decide on a new plan. I decide on a new plan here. And from that, I move forward in a different way. This can be like an awakening call. Of that you are your own guru, you have your own boundaries, you are your own unique seed. You can have other Aquarius people in your life, but they may not be like you, right? You will always be your own guru. I really mean that. The things that are sometimes created or figured out by Aquarius, it's not here yet. That's why it is, or what we know about linear time, it's not here yet. So if you follow other people's advice and teachings and limitations also about knowledge, you will never find your life purpose. You will never find your way forward. You will never do that. Instead of outsourcing your power to others, expecting them to know or expecting them to guide you, it's about reclaiming it, like calling it back and say, okay, now I've listened to all of you and it hasn't really helped me. I still feel like this. I still sit here. I still reminisce. I still feel, again, maybe like this outsider or different or something. I play with my shells. But the way you can find more life in your life, I want to say, is by knowing that you are your own guru. So what feels right for you is right for you. What feels wrong for you is wrong for you. The 10 Amendments, if you don't like them, they're wrong for you. It's actually that simple. But in this world, growing up in this world, and maybe, I don't know, you could have been overwhelmed by something when you were young, right? The world is a very noisy place. There are so many narratives. I have created one right now. There are many, many narratives out there. So many things. So this is your gut feeling. This is your brain guiding you. It is. And I think it's essential. It's essential for every zodiac sign, but it's very essential for you to be this one. You will always be your own guru. There is no one else that is able to teach you about you. What your strengths are. So this is also about, I said autonomy, but self-care, self-love, understanding that I'm I'm going to embrace everything that's in me, even if it's controversial, even if I know that I could be judged. Even if I'm different, that's like the idea of Aquarius, right? Even if I'm different, even if I go strange ways, even if my hobbies are maybe not what most others like, even if I decide to solve an unsolvable equation, even if I dig that, even if I go strange paths or become a loner. Again, I said something about loners here. Even if I become a loner, I'd rather do that, right? I'd rather do that, become my own lone wolf here. But staying true to myself, right? Staying true to myself. And maybe I will meet up with others who are also lone wolves. There could be a bit of, because I'm shown the anxiety card here. Like, you know, to evolve into this, there could be a great sense of anxiety to go there, but I even want to say it would be worse if you don't. Like, she is sitting in front of a window here, right? As I said with these others here, there's a window. But you know, like, yeah, there could be anxiety about developing or standing on your own 2 feet, you know, going your own way, trusting in something that is maybe, you know, this may seem like a long shot while you're still here, right? When you're still this one here, this new approach, this new idea may seem like a long shot. Maybe it seems too good to be true or too golden. Maybe you are worried. But I also feel like if I don't open the window, if I don't go, that's even worse. Like, it's even worse not to trust it, right? So, well, that could be, maybe the Rainmaker has been part of that, like that the call here could present a bit unfamiliar, or as I said, like it seems to but that's just the, it kind of it wants you to believe in the unbelievable. Like when the wise man saw the star in the sky, it's just like he knew, right? He knew that something very special had happened. He decided to trust it. He decided to go towards it, even though there was no proof, like nobody could tell him what it was. He just knew, right? But in this world where we grow up, following that kind of inkling without like a sense of certainty, without proof, without, others guiding you, without others saying, yeah, this is probably a great path. That will give you a lot of security and so on. You don't have that here. Like you become this guru here. So the anxiety, I feel like, is just a clinch between what this world tells us to trust and what your inner core is telling you to trust. You could have been feeling like this. Maybe you still feel like this. But I still get the feeling that it will pass, because you can't not go, I feel like. You can't not be that wise man. It's like denying yourself that you are Aquarius, denying that you are air, the oldest air. You just know stuff. And maybe no one else can relies on you. They don't trust you. They don't think that you are right. They go against you. They say this is a bad choice. Don't do it. It's not the right thing to do, or there's no safety here. There's no security. How can you trust an inkling in your body? How can you trust to... How can you trust just in faith? But as long as it's your faith, as long as it's your religion or narrative here, as long as it's right for you, I think you should do it, right? It's because not doing it, then you sit here with your shells and nothing is happening. I feel like it would be worse to stay than to lean into it. Like being, what's that called? Being blocked in pursuing it would give you this, I feel like. But pursuing it could also give you this, because your mindset has been limited by the current dimension on earth, your upbringing, everything you have been taught is a limited version, like your brain hasn't expanded to its full size. That's also what I feel like from child to like a wise man here. Like an expansion. There could be something given here that kind of expands your brain. Giving you a lot of information over a bit, like maybe a short time. And because of that, you have a different script now, right? You have a different roadmap in your brain. I feel like with spiritual awakenings, it's like, yes, it can foster anxiety and what is happening to me. There can be physical things going on, health things. There can be confusion, anxiety, feelings in your body that this is very unfamiliar. What's going on, right? And not trusting what's happening. And it can definitely lead to anxiety here. But along the way, I think that the anxiety is transforming. At least it had for me. I had a lot of this in the beginning. I had no idea what was happening. And I didn't trust it. I became very. I was wondering about my health. I was very unsure about my life existence, like literally my life. Could I die from this, right? It gave me a lot of anxiety, a lot of thoughts, a lot of, like the expansion of the brain can come with this. Like information and downloads, great, but this is the body reaction to it, or could be. But I also get the feeling it's shifting, that it would be more anxious to go backwards now. Like if you had to go back to sit like the girl here and be, that your brain was less expanded, that you knew less, that it was shrink into the third dimension, what you knew before the call here. You wouldn't go back, like you wouldn't sit like her again. Even though the journey may come with this, but what you end up with is a totally different version of yourself, and your brain like just expanded. Again, I get this feeling of being like an antenna, right? That if you can somehow open yourself up to this cosmic realm, hear the call here of your guide, and trust it. And saying yes to it, I think. I think it could be a golden opportunity, or an expansive, an abundant Jupiter-like experience. Being your own guru can mean that you become like a teacher of some kind. Whatever downloads you have received, whatever golden cup has come in here, whatever key or puzzle piece, or maybe it's scientific, maybe it's I have had a lot of like downloads about physics, like physics stuff, down to atom level. And I've never even bothered really to look in a physics book much before. It was so different, so not me somehow. But it was not bad. It was not that I didn't like it. I found it very fascinating. I learned a lot from it. It's just it was not the same as I was taught in school, right? It had a specific focus for me, specifically for me. I think spiritual awakenings are specifically designed for each and every one of us, if you have one. I think spiritual awakenings can be for the masses, meaning that you wake up to become some kind of helper, teacher, healer, or something. I think spiritual awakenings can be for personal reasons, personal and very local. So only the people that are around you, or you know, your maybe family or certain friends, they will see this, right? I think it can be very different for each and every one. But it's definitely an awakening, I think, or a call to trust something. Like to trust your real life force here as your guru. So whatever you feel vibrant about, whatever ticks for you, whatever is colorful for you, bright and vibrant and makes everything worth a while, whatever makes you, like, lifts you up, like that is your religion. I feel like that is your key, that is the star, that is the, and if that is like hardcore physics, or if it is some kind of occult, you know, obsession, or some kind of maybe some kind of energy work here that others may not understand, right? But if that is if that's what make you tick here, if this is that, then it's yours. I would say you should just go for it. It feels a little bit like, you know, she sits here with these empty shells, and I feel like there has probably been life in them, or something has been living in there, but now they don't. And maybe you are thinking about how to revive or to get it back, to nurture it, or and he comes in here with one that is glowing. Because if you only surround yourself with something that isn't alive, I want to say, you should surround yourself with something that is alive, or something that vitalizes you here. If you surround yourself with something that is like not as equally invested, or doesn't give back to you, or doesn't see your value, or again, reminiscing means that you're looking for something that isn't here at the moment, not in that state that you would prefer. Like it has died. If we look at linear time, it would be you are here, and what you're looking for is past. It's in the past. It has been extinct, maybe. Maybe it's an animal, you know. It's extinct. And with our linear time, we would say, well, there's nothing to do about that. They have died. We can't get them back. But with quantum thinking, they are here now with you. Like time is not linear in the quantum field. Or even if you feel like they are not quite here, you can still tap into the energy of them, summoning them to you, feeling them, knowing that they are around you, present. Does that make sense? Like I hope it can make sense somehow. And that now becomes your knowledge, right? You know how to summon something perhaps here. Because you trust in something that maybe the world hasn't really quite recognized yet, and they don't know how to work it. They don't know how to use it maybe. Or what it can bring to the world. What kind of difference it can bring to the world. For instance, let's say that in linear time you were here, and in the past something happened. You got wounded here. And there was a you before the wounding, and there was a you after the wounding moving forward. Right? So something changed something for you here. You had a different life before, something happened, and then you have a different life after. That is linear time. What if all of this is pushed into one category? It's all there in one. You can tap into the wound, you can tap into before the wound, after the wound if you want to. But it means that you can confront it, and you can even choose. You can see what happened, what changed. And you can summon to you the energy that you would prefer. Like, wouldn't that change something for humanity? Wouldn't it be interesting for people that suffer from woundings, post-traumatic stress, things like that? But of course, people have to believe in it. Like, they have to believe. But most people with post-traumatic stress, the event that changed something is with them every single day. It's not in the past. Well, maybe according to years and months, it is in the past, but it's not. It's with them every single day. So it's not in the past. It's there. It's current. For someone with post-traumatic stress, it's current. It's now. I still relive it, we say. Or they say. It's like it's reliving it. I would say it's not reliving, they are in it. Like, it's not there, it's here. They're just stuck there. They're stuck in it and can't actually move forward. Even though time, as in years and months and days, passes, they are stuck there. This could be what this also is. This is like a child just stuck with the dead shells. They haven't moved forward. They haven't grown. They're still stuck here. They still sit in a... Do you understand? I hope you understand. Of course you understand. I think it's just... I don't know what your guru thing is here. I just think that it's expansive. People need to expand their mind to understand it. And maybe you need like-minded people, right? Even if it comes from another realm. Even if your guide here is the wise man from another realm telling you about this. Because it's not currently here. Or we're just touching the surface of it. You see? That's what I feel like. I don't know what it is for you. It can be anything. Any kind of topic. You're all different. So just stick with what feels right. You usually do, right, Aquarius? It's just if you have experienced something really terrible. Maybe someone died very young for you, very young, losing a parent, for instance. That can be quite devastating for a child. And being stuck there. You know? So there is a you before that happened, and there is a you after. That is what the linear time says. But what if you could go back to the incident, and even before the incident, retrieving your original energy, the one that is more like this, without the wound, or remembering what it was like before the wound. Before maybe something was breached. Before when something was whole. Before something was, I don't know, damaged or something. This is what I have. I hope this helped somehow. Take care of yourself out there, Aquarius. Love and light to you. Bye bye.